Hey everyone, and welcome back to College World. Now we're going to continue our discussion of the 5 factors that affect the rate of the reaction. Well, we looked at the first 3, now we have 2 more left. So the 4th factor that affect reaction rates is light. And I told you this before, light might be a bit weird because if I tell you light can affect reactions, chemical reactions, you're gonna say, well, how can that happen? Well, consider photosynthesis, which is a reaction that occurs every day in the lovely trees. Okay, let's see this lovely tree right here, and there's, sun rays hitting the tree. Okay. Here, there's a reaction that involves water, plus some nutrients from the soil, plus chlorophyll, which is the pigment responsible for the green color in the leaves, plus sunlight. Okay. Well, consider winter time. If you go out, you see the trees are very dead, less lively, and the leaves are falling out. While if you go out in summertime or springtime, you can see that there is more flowers, the green leaves are more, green, less dull. So there is a reaction going more in the sun in summertime because there is more sun, obviously. So that means photosynthesis is affected by light. So the more light available, more photosynthesis, and therefore the rate of the reaction is faster. Okay, let's consider another process, which is photographic film. Well, if you're interested in photography or filming and stuff like that, this might be a bit interesting for you. Okay, let's pretend this is a film. Okay, a photographic film is covered with a gelatin layer, and on this layer there is those tiny particles of silver halide. Okay, and silver halide can be silver halide. It can be silver plus any chemical from group 7. Okay, so it can be AgBr. Okay, so what's the function of AgBr? Well, it's basically absorbs light, and the more AgBr absorbs light, the more or the higher the resolution of the film. Okay, so more AgBr means more light is absorbed into the film, and therefore the higher the resolution of the film, and also the higher the contrast. Okay, so these are the 2 processes. There's more processes, but this is only for this level. We're going to talk about the photosynthesis and the photographic film. Okay, so let's move on to the last factor that affects reaction rates, which is the presence of a catalyst. So what is a catalyst? A catalyst is a substance that speeds up reactions, but, and you have to concentrate on this, but does not get involved in the reaction. Okay, so that means, in other words, that a catalyst, if taken out from the chemical reaction, nothing would be affected, only the speed will be affected. Okay, so let's take a look at this graph. Okay, so it's a graph of energy versus process. Okay, so we start with our reactants and we end up with products. Okay, and the reaction proceeds like this. This is the pathway. Okay. Okay. So this distance right here is the activation energy. But what the hell is activation energy? Activation energy is basically the energy required to activate the reaction. But still, I don't get it. What the hell is activation energy? Well, it's the energy to get the reaction going. This is the starting energy, okay? So what the catalyst does is it provides an alternative pathway where the activation energy is lowered. Okay, so this is the red path is the catalyst pathway. Okay, it provides a lower activation energy. Okay, so therefore we save energy. Okay, so let's conclude this. The presence of a catalyst means there is an alternative pathway provided in which the activation energy is lowered and therefore the reaction proceeds faster. So, to recap this, let's go over these things again. Okay. The first factor we looked at is light. And we looked at two different processes, which were the photosynthesis and the photographic film. And we said that both processes depend on the light intensity. And if there is more light, therefore the reaction proceeds faster. Okay? In case of the photosynthesis, the more the light, the more the life there is in the tree and the more the green it is. Well, in case of the photographic film, the more light there is, the more or the higher the resolution of the film it will be. Okay? The last factor we looked at is the presence of a catalyst, and we said that the catalyst is a substance that speeds up the reaction but does not get involved in the reaction, meaning if we take out the catalyst from the chemical reaction, nothing will be affected except for the rate or the speed. Okay? And we said that how can a catalyst speed up reaction? Well, it provides an alternative pathway in which the activation energy is lowered and therefore the reaction proceeds faster. Okay, well that's that, and now we're done with reaction rates, and hopefully by now you guys are experts in reaction rates, and I'm gonna be providing a third video, or actually a fourth video, in which we're gonna look at some examples and how the examiner will put this topic in action. Okay, so stay tuned and good luck.